continues.
The saga
Her
continues.
Twitter account conveniently not working after tiff with CEO Elon Musk. Okay, for all of the things that we're concerned about with Elon Musk taking over Twitter, notably that he's working with some of these woke grievance organizations, you gotta admit, you'd rather have Elon Musk at the helm of Twitter than the previous Twitter administration. Because at least right now, he's mocking and trolling AOC, and he plans to fire 50% of all jobs. So, like I said, net positive. The only reason that I come out and say, hey, Elon, stop working with organizations like New Knowledge and these grievance institutions is because if you do not keep the flame burning, then eventually Elon Musk starts giving in to the left. My point is this. Many on the left, they riot, they complain, they boycott. And so big corporations listen, which means we cannot sit back and just say, I trust Elon to do the right thing. No. You gotta keep the pressure on and say, dude, no, do not work with them. Let's say this. I signed up for Twitter Blue because it was a cheaper way to get access to subscription-only news services, because I like to read these news organizations. I don't like that I have to give them money, but to know what they're writing about, you do gotta pay. Twitter Blue apparently was it's gonna be cheaper instead of spending $10 at all these places at $5 per month, and you get them all. When I saw that Elon Musk was working with the woke grievance organizations, I canceled my Twitter Blue. I will sign back up and give the $8 that Elon requests when he proves he's actually going to free the political prisoners. But here's the best part. Let's get political. With the midterms just around the corner, let's bring up how AOC is a narcissist. She's complaining that her Twitter account isn't working after she got into a tiff with Elon Musk, as if to imply that Elon went into the code, singling out her account and said, no more mentions for you. Okay, I get it. Not only does AOC not understand how basic economics works, she doesn't understand how social media websites work. And she's so narcissistic, she thinks Elon Musk is targeting her. Dude, he tweeted at you one time, calm down. Here's the story. The feud between new Twitter CEO Elon Musk and Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez continued Wednesday evening before the lawmaker claimed her account conveniently stopped working. Hours after Musk addressed critics of the platform's proposed plan to charge us $8 a month to keep their blue checks, Ocasio-Cortez fired back at Musk. One guy's business plan for a $44 billion over-leveraged purchase is apparently to run around and individually ask people for $8. She wrote in a series of tweets. Remember that the next time you question yourself or your qualifications. I mean, it's an excellent self-own. Because, all businesses do that. It's just really funny. But AOC, who's never actually run a company she's a bartender, and I have no disrespect there. I respect the hustle, And then she got elected, does great things. It's a great thing. But AOC, you have no idea how to run a business. Literally, what Elon Musk is doing is like business 101. Ask your customers for money. Do you think that he would open a Starbucks and then be like, the coffee's free? Here you go. Here's what we did. Over at Tim Cost. Over at Tim Cost. We have no, get out of here, Fox. Near your garbage auto. We had Cast Plug. And we were doing fairly well on YouTube. But it's really hard to break.
Where the heck did he stick all my nails, man?
We would get between 50 and 100K. And then we decided you don't make enough money doing that.
I get this guy has his own way of organizing stuff, but he's like I don't know if he's using them or if he's throwing them somewhere, but all my I've had 10, 20 piles of nails. They're all gone. There was a bunch of nails in here. Because I would stack bolts and nails and then I would drop them in here when I came into the area. But I think so. I still have one nail on me though, so that's good. And then I need to cut down a tree. Need food. Holy smokes. And I'm not even sure. 'Cause you can go 1.5 strength, 4.5 con. Like, is this the best? 'Cause, I mean, I know you can gain more strength than dex, but I mean, $100. 62 hours. So it definitely saves more time leveling strength. But dexterity can be leveled passively, where strength you have to be online to level it.
Secure communication with human asset established. Greetings, human asset. Welcome to Scum Island tutorial protocol provided by the Tech One Corporation. My designation is Dual Energetic Entity Neural Appliance or DINA. I am an artificial intelligence created by the Tech One Corporation tasked with overseeing the Scum Show protocols including the preparation of human assets. If you wish to activate the tutorial, please do so on your journal interface. Secure channel closed.
say you go from 1 to 8. So that's 7, 8, 4. Similar amount of time for dexterity to level. Now the question is, bow. Because we know with this much strength in medium, I think you could just barely. So it's going to be a 90 pound. £90 for close range. Oh, what happens if we do like an 80 pound? Can we do full draw? Fine with that. I mean, it's kind of almost a benefit to barely have enough strength to pull back a bow. Just look at the, like, if I use this, pull back, shoot, pull back, shoot, pull back, shoot. And then you go to the 80, you can hold it for a second. Pull back, shoot, pull back, shoot, pull back, shoot, pull back, shoot. There's not a lot of downside there. But then when you come and get the 90-pound bow, you're talking not even pull back, that's just shoot. Rapid fire. Might not be doing as much, but I mean, that's a pretty tight grouping. And I'm able to get medium in all stats, which is competent enough to use the weapon. And starting out, that'll cause you to burn less calories, even if you won't be the strongest person in the world. So that might be what I do until I get a good enough food supply and stuff, and you build your base, and you can level up your skills over time. But then you're going to be putting in, you know, 30-something hours to finish maxing out your melee skill. But if you're using melee skill in gameplay, I was getting 2 to 3% just using it in the game, which is pretty good. So hardcore build 2. So this one, we're going to be doing the same thing. So we're going 1.5, 4.5. This one we're going to go medium brawling. Running endurance. See, in here, we could do the 50-50 split, maybe. Or we could go medium running and advanced endurance. But I'd probably just do endurance. Medium thievery. And then do driving and motorcycling like we did before. Advanced medical. I think this would probably be the best build, because if the spawn rate is really low, you want the medical skill because it's the only one that you can't level. You're going to be able to get enough melee skill within 4 or 5 hours to get medium melee, which would be okay for puppets. So,
Secure communication with human asset established. Greetings, human asset. Welcome to Scum Island tutorial protocol provided by the Tech One Corporation. My designation is Dual Energetic Entity Neural Appliance or DINA. I am an artificial intelligence created by the Tech One Corporation tasked with overseeing the Scum Show protocols, including the preparation of human assets. If you wish to activate the tutorial, please do so on your journal interface. Secure channel closed.
the only problem with this is you won't have the strength to crowbar lockers. At least not very well. Actually, it might be easier just to take over bases. Maybe that's what you should do. Because if you build a base and taking the flag is in like 12 to 6 hours, then let me send a message to Ethan. See if there's anything online about it real quick. So
But we do need to find water, and fast.
You a man after my heart. You most definitely fought well, and that made me happy.
You did a good job, bud. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Agree. Hell yeah. Oh.
What's up, Cat? Hey, do you happen to know anything about Scum at all? Yeah, it keeps freezing. I just left it there. I really need to cut my hair, to be honest. Do you know if you capture a flag and take over an enemy's base, does it allow you to get access to all their locked containers, or are the containers still locked? Okay. I'm posting a post on Reddit, but I'm trying to think this through as best I can. Um, I'm talking to Ethan about using his server that he already has, so yeah. But I'm trying to develop one of the hardest servers in the game that would actually promote a lot of diversity in the game, you know? And I got a decent idea of how to do it. I'm just trying to iron out some of the kinks when it comes to like bases. And I think I found the build that I would use. Um, this might not seem like a special build, but I think this is actually pretty good. Well, currently we're on the official official Scum hardcore number 01 US East server. There isn't that many people on there though, but it doesn't seem hard enough to me exactly. I mean, the big city and stuff is pretty big, but what's Scum League? Is that a server? Nice. So you're like a competitive esports player? Yeah. Doesn't hurt to give it a try, man. I will say, if you get into esports, though, some of those people have no chill. I started an esports team in college because they didn't have a esports program before I left, and they stuck our team versus Texas Tech and League of Legends, and basically like 3 of our teammates had no real gaming experience. No, I'm in single player right now. I was testing some stuff. So here's what I'm thinking. Well, all right, so this is what I'm thinking, okay? We're trying to make a server that forces people to slow their progression and changes the style of play in Scum. So the main economy is going to be driven by animals. We're thinking guns will be like, we're going to lower the loot spawns to where they're very low. there's going to be the possibility of a gun or something spawning in a bunker, but it's not going to be very high. Guns are going to cost maybe like 50 to 75k. I didn't play back then, so I don't really know. I'm thinking like 50 to 75k or something for a gun. A katana maybe 20k, 30k. Medieval swords will be like 20k, and then bows will vary from 20 to 30k going up by poundage, like 1,000 or something. Cars will be like 100k. I don't know all the rates. I mean, I haven't got to see any of the settings for the servers. I was gonna buy my own, but a guy that is in this Discord channel, he has his own server already. So he said he'll probably mess with it this weekend and see what he can do, and then I can test it out maybe. But I don't know if you change the I don't even know if you can change the pricing of traders, but if you do, does it affect the sell prices of goods? Because right now, I'm basing everything off of the animal prices. So like in a high pop server, a bear can sell for like 1,600. In a low pop server, it's selling for like 800, but 800, 900. So even a truck, if you wanted to sell it, like buy a truck, you would need basically 100 to 150 bears to buy a truck, you know? And then a gun would be like 50 to 75 bears. But it forces the players to use primal weapons at the beginning of the game, fighting over animals. And then if you buy a gun and you use it, you're going to attract a lot of attention to yourself. If you buy a car, you're going to attract a lot of attention to yourself. You know, and then I want like the basic crafting components to be findable. Yeah, killing bears are easy. I've killed bears with my fist. It's the wolves. You can't kill wolves, man. Like if a bear comes at you, literally all you do is you just kind of wait, and then you move left and right, and it'll miss. And you just kind of do that, and you can kill it. A wolf, if there's one of them, you can kind of do that, but as soon as it like hits you, it like stun locks you, and if there's two of them, you're dead. Yeah. Wolves are tankier than bears. So like a bear, you can take a spear and stab a bear, and you can probably kill it pretty quick. But one wolf will sit there and just face tank like 500 spear stabs. It's crazy. But I'm thinking we're gonna lower, maybe even lower than the hardcore server, the gas station's fuel consumption or fuel regeneration. Maybe in half it again, because right now, like, you can go fill up like every 30 minutes or an hour or something. I'm thinking cut that way down. Then tribes that have cars are going to have to sit there and stockpile gas for their vehicles. People who don't have vehicles could go to the gas stations and watch and see if somebody goes there for gas, and then stock them back to their base, which would be pretty good. The main issue I could see on the server is people that would be camping these trading posts. Because new players aren't going to know where the animals would spawn. They'll probably die, and they may quit the server, or they'll end up hunting animals and coming back and forth to the trader because they don't have a car. And then when people go in there to sell, there'd be people outside of it just waiting to kill them. Yeah, with arrows, you have to, like, shoot it in the face, I think. Larger zone. I mean, I guess a larger zone could work. Just kind of looking at this. It would stop people from building bases around it, though. The main concern I would have with a larger zone is that if people use boats, they may be able to go in and out of the zone and shoot somewhere. But that's the interesting part, is like if you can't buy a car, you can still craft a large raft. I think the bigger zones could be good. It's just, I don't know how much it would help. I mean, it would give you a bigger radius to get in, but like B4 would be the biggest concern. You could probably only stretch it to like right here, because then you would hit this town. Unless you make the town a safe zone. Yeah, wheelbarrows for on land for sure. It's just slow, so if you're pushing a wheelbarrow, you're probably going to die. Especially like this character, so my toss-up would be, yeah, you can run, but not very far, unless you have like a lot of stamina and strength. Even then, it kind of slows down. So like this character, he would probably have a hard time. But that's the toss-up that I'm having with builds, because if they add the farming and intelligence scaling into the game, I probably would only go like 1.5 intelligence, to be honest. But like this character, I think it would be pretty decent for a hardcore server like that, because the lower strength would lower my calorie consumption by quite a lot, and I can still get medium. I'll start medium brawling, and then it'll take like 4 hours, 5 hours to get medium melee, and medium archery I can get in about a day as well. I'll be pretty competent with this. With 1.5 strength and medium archery, I can use up to a 90-pound bow. But the bow, you can barely pull it back. But it's a benefit. It's actually a good thing, because when you have a lot of strength and a lot of archery skill, you can shoot fast. But if you can barely pull the bow back, you can actually like machine gun fire arrows, which is pretty nice. And then like the 80-pound bow, you can get a full draw. So I'm not super worried about the ballista bow early, for sure. And then 4.5 con is like my bread and butter for this. Like it takes too long to level running in endurance. So, and then I put a lot of thought into this, because I was going to go max thievery, but yeah, but like in a server that doesn't have access to very many guns, like stronger poundage bows, I think would have a really big impact. Like being able to shoot very far. I didn't really know about the power caps though, 'cause I never really used the 60. I usually only like use the improvised or the 100-pound. See, but the thought process is that if the spawn rate, if the spawn rate of items is low, the key cards and the airdrops are going to be the biggest things for a power spike in the game, because they can still spawn guns and random items. I want nails and bolts and crafted, like items for crafting to spawn kind of decently, but if everything's connected, the main issue is that thread will become very rare, and I don't have a fix for that if you can't individually change spawn rates of things, because thread is important for crafting, and I don't want that to be the biggest issue. But the thing is that when you change the prices for traders, are they all connected, or can you set individual prices on traders? Okay, so basically, if you could set individual prices on traders, that's how I would regulate it. I would have thread and stuff be a little bit cheaper than other items, as long as everything can still be bought there. The main thing is that the economy is going to be driven by animal prices. So as long as we can keep the selling of the animal prices to about normal, even if we change with the trader stuff, I think it'll be all right. Okay. So if you can set that, I mean, that's perfect. Okay. I think I would probably add boxes of nails and stuff if they don't spawn commonly in the world, because like you got cars and you got puppets. So I'm thinking 2x or 3x puppets. Um, and puppets can and drop nails and stuff. I have a hard time judging it because in the hardcore server, there's not that many players, and it seems the more players, the more puppets on the server. Yeah. Yeah, so we can just fix that by using the traders. But that means that trader camping is going to be even more important than before because you're going to need thread. But yeah, you need access to thread because there's no way to craft it. And if you're going to be living in the wilderness, the first thing you got to get is a big backpack. And a hiking backpack, preferably. Because until then, you're going to have to cut up the animal parts and then bring like half the animal to the trader. And then you can trade that for thread. Drive over to the trader real quick. See, but the harder that you make the game to play, the more important skills are for the most part. Like, if guns are really rare, do you really want to start the game with a bunch of gun skill? Or do you want to start the, like, because you're not going to have as much ammo to shoot the gun to level it, but you might still have events to level it. You know, but guns are still useful even without any driving or any rifle skill. But if it takes you that long to get it, you might want to put some stat points into it. Like the two builds that I'm kind of back and forth on is like I personally really like a high strength character, but high strength makes your calorie consumption really high. And if you do high strength and high conditioning, then you don't have a lot of points to stick anywhere else. And personally, like, my driving skills, I like to have about this much in driving to stop gear grinds and stalls, and then at least basic motorcycle, so I can get 60 kilometers per hour movement here. Otherwise, you get 40 on the motorcycle starting off, and that's it sucks terribly. So I'm thinking this right here will be the build if I do make that server to start with, because I'll start with medium brawling. It'll take basically like 4 to 5 hours if I hit one puppet. I can get this down to about an hour or so if I can manage to hit 3 and get a training sword. But in the hardcore server right now, they have 2x puppets, and within like a day of play, I was getting like 3 or 4% of my melee skill to advance. Whereas if you farm it with one puppet, you can get about 100k melee skill in 4 hours. The main issue is just leveling the strength, but early into the game, having lower strength means less calories, less food. Probably easy to micromanage. And then I'm thinking medium thievery instead of advanced, because if screwdrivers are rare, and I don't plan on making you be able to buy them, the idea is that screwdriver rating is going to be less prominent. They're going to have to decide if they want to use their screwdrivers on a base door, a locked loot container, a car, a kill box. And then crowbarring is going to be important. So like this character right here isn't going to be very good with crowbars, because he isn't very strong. But the main issue that I can see for building a server the way I'm thinking is that there's players, just like in normal servers, that are really good at kill boxes, and if they manage to get a hold of a bunch of key cards, they're going to have more loot than everyone else, for sure. They're going to have the most powerful loot on the server. And I'm not sure if there's any way to balance that, but in the hardcore server, I think they have 2x puppets and 4x damage. Yeah. Well, that's why I was working on my lockpicking earlier, and like I can lockpick sort of with medium and sort of with advanced. There's not like a huge difference, because I think like my hand like always goes in the wrong direction when I get close to the sweet spot on advanced locks. Like I'll be right there, and I think it just like I passively move my hand in the wrong direction every time. But I can do it. So I think medium is a good balance, because you can get medium lock picking. I can get my car skill and my motorcycle skill to the level that's decent, so I'm not like a complete, liability. You don't want to go and buy a 100k car and then get murdered because you're not driving fast enough, or you stall out every 2 seconds. And a car would be a big power spike on the server. This SUV sucks though. So I'm going to go to the trader, look at some prices, and I need to check how fast this dude can use a crowbar, and then I'll go back over to the actual hardcore server. I'm just looking at a couple things to tell Ethan, possible settings he might be able to adjust this weekend. Cruiser is probably my favorite bike, because this thing is a boss. It's better than cars, man. It climbs mountains. Maybe not. It's too steep. We gotta go at an angle, man. It's it's just performance anxiety, you know? That's all it is. See, this is the big weak point of like cars for sure. Going up hills, crazy. But the guy who's playing with me on the hardcore server, he keeps saying that they're gonna have an update in like 24 days or something that's gonna add farming and everything to the game. That's gonna be a whole nother can of worms. Like I don't even know how much like corn or whatever on the game sells for, but I do hope they like add you know, like allow the tractor to like farm crops or something. Would be interesting. The main thing I'm looking for is being able to ride horses. And becoming a famous enough person for them to add a streamer item for me. And I want an explosive lance and armor. That'd be great. I don't have any arrows. Not bad. Yeah, but do you want to put pesticides on your crops, man? You're not organic? You don't like organic crops? You're gonna contaminate your water supply. If I can catch the pests and turn them into fish bait, that'd be good. Alright, so also I seen that this baton is in the game. I don't recall this being in the game before, so does it knock people out? If it sucks, it just means it's better at leveling your melee skill. Let's go test it out up here. Get back in your cell. Oh. Do less damage when you run out of stamina too. Seems to have the same attack speed as the axe, I think. I think melee is kind of underrated. Like a lot of people don't use it. It's not really the best versus puppets, but I think it's pretty good versus players, depending on like lag and such. If you have 5 strength and max melee skill, I don't think it's terrible, but you have 5 strength and max melee skill. If you have a medieval sword, if you hit someone's gun one time, it goes down to 59%. With a katana, you can almost like zero it with one hit. So like if you're using brawling, you put that auto lock so you can like hit them in the face. But if you use melee, you like manually aim for their weapon and cause it to jam. Let's drop these. Okay. So I need to look at the time for this, and so I need a stopwatch. I think with the 5 strength, and I don't think I had high dexterity, but it was like 25 seconds or something like that. But, and also with 5 strength, and I think just with 5 strength, it was using like 14% durability or something on the crowbar. So this one's 99%. I need a stopwatch. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh yeah, that's pretty slow. That's the one thing that I could say is that crowbarring like is going to be really important if I make the server the way I do. And this is looking like it's going to take a couple of minutes for one locker. The main thing is though is that if you focus on leveling your strength at the beginning of the game, it takes half as much time to get to like 1 strength to 1 to 5 strength than it does to get from 1 dexterity to 5 dexterity. Because you can get 0.384 compared to 0.24. So you can go from 1 strength to 8 strength in about the same time as it would take you to level dexterity from 1 to 5. But the main thing is that you can passively level dexterity just by setting, whereas strength you have to manually like go out and do everything. So that is 1 minute and 30 seconds or so for 1 locker. That is insane. Yeah, so 5 strength gets it down to 15 or to 25. So this is 90 seconds, and the other one is 25. That's 18 seconds per point, or per tenth. Something's wrong there. Oh, I don't know if I'm doing that right in my head. If it takes 1 minute and 30 seconds to crowbar it with 1.5 strength, and it takes 25 seconds to crowbar it with 5 strength, then I'm just going to say that's a 4-point difference. Let's just say it's 4 point instead of 3.4 or 3.5. Well, that's what I did right there. Okay, so it was 90 minus 25 25, right? It's a 65-second difference. And then I'm dividing it by 3.5 because that is the difference between the two skill stats. And I think that's right, which means it's 18 seconds a point. I'm not positive. But that doesn't make sense because that means if you go from like, unless it has diminishing returns, and when you go 5 to 6, it would drop down to like 7 seconds. So by the time you got to 8 strength, you'd like instantaneously open lockers. And that doesn't make any sense in my head. A minute and 30 seconds to 25. So you're shaving off like a minute. 4 skill points. So let's say you're shaving 15 seconds a skill point. That doesn't make any sense. There has to be diminishing returns on that. I don't really know. I haven't ever got a character up to 8 strength, so. But that's also how I've decided to start with advanced medical over advanced survival. Is because I'm going to be leveling my strength anyway. This thing is barely faster than a normal boat, as that person talked about. 4 kilometers an hour. Here's the other thing, though. We always had that debate on what you could do to store boats. This thing, you can drive up on the coast, but basically, if you have a car, you just drive behind it and you can push these boats in the land. I think thread's like 100 or something.
Welcome, welcome. Feel free to browse around.
150. This is the best price possible, so maybe 200, 300 bucks. Oh. But honestly, that's not terrible. I mean, if a wolf can sell for like 400 bucks on a low pop server and 800 or something for a high pop server, then that wouldn't be too bad. But like, since leveling strength the fastest way seems to be cutting trees, if you're starting the game and you want to save the most time possible on all your crafts and stuff, you can start with survival. But on hardcore, it takes so long to recover from medical injuries that takes a long time. And you could still justify taking survival, but it just sucks when you have to take forever to heal, you know, and then you have the potential of dying, and then you add players into the mix. You get shot by an arrow and taking 16 minutes to try and regen your HP or like heal. Especially if there's like low spawns and stuff. So it's like I think medical would be really important, and then when you're leveling your strength, you got to level your survival with it anyway. So I think that's fine. But definitely though, survival at the beginning of the game saves a lot of time, and I have a big debate back and forth between these two because you're saving like 3 or 4 minutes a tree with having this maxed out at the beginning, which means that you're saving time leveling engineering and you're saving time leveling awareness. But if the spawn rates are so low on the server that you can't get alcohol bottles very easily, it's going to be very difficult to level medical up. Because I can level this to max in like 15 hours, but if I can't get access to the bottles, um, I don't really know. I mean, I could go and buy a bottle, but like filling one bottle up over and over again would be tedious. I'm just thinking about the my other character. So what kind of tournament are you joining, Kat? Should I remake my character? We're so close to medium driving. Oh, let me think about this for a second. See, my other character, I made them a sniper and I started them with advanced stealth. See if it freezes my computer. Apex Legends. Apex Legends. Up up. Gotta do some chores tonight, for sure. Not super crazy, to be honest, but from the guy that I played with, he said that once the updates hit, they spike, but I guess people don't stay on them for a very long period. The one that we're on, there's usually like 2 to 3 people on sometimes, and then the biggest spikes are like 5 to 7. There are bases on the server, it's just hard to find them because you don't have a map. So, most of these... Russia has one. Canada has a decent bit they play on there, but... The difference between, like, the official server and the hardcore server really isn't that much, to be honest. Like, they have lower loot spawns, but you can still find guns and stuff in bunkers fairly commonly. It's just that, like, places like the castle... Yeah. Places like the castle, though, where I go and I can loot all the containers and get, like, a shotgun every time, and go to the trader and make, like, 5,000 to 8,000. On the hardcore server, I can go there and maybe find a sword and a couple of helmets, and maybe one item in the boxes. So it's not really worth my time to go there for money, because it takes so long. To my character personally, he hasn't been having any luck finding anything in boxes hardly at all. But I found AKs and stuff in bunkers, so you can still get them. Most of these aren't very populated, though. The biggest difference is probably that it has 2x puppets on the server and 4x damage. I think, you know, when you're solo, when you're the only person on the server, the puppets don't really seem any different than a normal server to me, for the most part. But when my teammates were online, there was like 4 of us, and we were driving around, there was like 20, 30 of those, like at every stop. It was nuts. And we were all shooting bows, and by the time we got done, one day of playing, I had like almost medium awareness because all of the arrows that we were shooting. And the big city's probably the biggest one. But that's why if I make a server, I'm not gonna have, like, I don't do the whole 10x loot, 10x puppets or whatever. Because if you increase the puppet amount by that much, then like playing a melee character or a brawling character is gonna be impossible. Yeah, most of them aren't populated, so it's alright. See, this character is an alt, and I made him with 1 strength, 4.5 con, I think 3.5 dex, and 3 intelligence. And the idea was I was going to make him a sniper. And so I wanted his calories consumption as low as possible, so I maxed his endurance, and I lowered his strength, so he only burns like, I don't know, 20 or 30 calories an hour or something. And I went basic rifles so that you can make a scope. And I went max stealth and like something else. I think maybe I went 3.5 intelligence. Or no, I went 5 constitution. That's what it was. Max constitution, 1 strength. Advanced stealth and advanced awareness, I think, is what I did on him. I want to remake this guy. If you play on the East server, one thing to know is that there's 2 different servers. There's one that says just US East Hardcore or something, and then there's one that says Official Hardcore US East 01 or whatever. What is... So 1.5, 4.533. Brawling, running, endurance. Do I go medium thievery, medium stealth? Or do I want to drive? Medium medical, medium awareness. Or medium survival. I would say if you don't take too much damage, then medical isn't the biggest deal, but if you are going to take any hits at all, every time a puppet hits you, you get a C1 bleed, and it takes like 3 minutes for it to go away if you don't have any medical or anything, it seems. Or maybe it was just my other thing, but you don't regen your HP while you're bleeding, So it can be worth it to have bandages just to like heal the C1s. Maybe. Do awareness. So this Scum tournament that you're doing, what are the like rules? Do you make a character, or is it just like PvP, like events, or what? Puppet eyes. Are the puppet spawns like normal spawn rates? Top 4 collectors get a 3080. I almost would want to do that myself. Puppet eyes. Best place for puppet eyes. Honestly, like, you would think the big city, but if other people go to the big city, that's also a place to be very easy to get shot from. The coal mine can spawn puppets pretty much infinitely, but they're kind of spaced out depending. Yeah, I don't know what like a full server does to the puppet spawns, but like the coal mine has puppets in there, and it'd be easy to hide because it's dark and stuff. The city has a bunch of puppets, but there's a lot of angles you can get shot from, so I don't really know. I'd honestly just say a bunker. Like, I feel like people would just run into a bunker and sit in there and farm the puppets when they respawn. Well, I'm not really sure how to keep like fix any freezes, because like I can fix the cam. I don't know if there's anything else I can do in here for that. This is just all my... I was using Restream in the past, but people didn't like the 30 frames per second, so... I can lower the quality or something, or maybe do I need to like increase the bit rate? Lossless. max B frames. See, I don't know what any of it means. Doesn't even go up that high, man. It says go up to 500,000. What's the max here? So you can't type in 500,000, but you can increase. You can keep increasing it. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, right there. That's a 5. It won't let you put 5. You can do 100,000. What can you put there? Can you put 4? You can put 2. I don't know if this is gonna work. If something explodes on my computer, I guess I'll be back after. Has this improved anything, you think? Oh shoot, it was max bitrate filled. It only goes up to 4. I don't even know what GPU means. It can go up to 8. It was set at 0. It's buffering on mine too. I mean, it stopped buffering, maybe? Nope, it's still back. So, we broke the stream.
Like if you can access your scenes right now, and so I'll save it up. So once you go on here, like actually or install as admin PS and
Outputs. $4,000 through $8,000. It says poor network detection.